What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and we have got a lot of news to get you caught up on. This is your stimulus check update and stimulus package update. Now, we're expecting to hear from President Joe Biden today about the American Families Plan. As you guys know, this is part 2 of the infrastructure package that's going to be directly helping out families and individuals through tax credits, additional education, childcare, maybe stimulus checks. We'll see what's included, but remember, it's not set in stone. Whatever comes out today, we could see things taken out or we could see things added in before it gets signed into law. I'll be sure to keep you up to date. And also, yesterday, we saw executive orders roll out, new executive orders, one of which increases the federal minimum wage to $15 per hour. That's right. And also, we're getting more details about what we can expect to see today. And we're hearing there's going to be tax increases for real estate. That's right. We're going to see how this is going to be impacting the real estate market, as values right now are through the roof, and we're going to see how this is going to be impacting them even further. So you guys, there's a lot unfolding, but I'm going to get you caught up on the latest, what we know so far as of today, April 28th, 2021. But before I dive in, if you could do me a quick favor, just takes a second, you know what to do. Smash that like button, leave your comments, share this video out on social media platforms, helps me out a ton. Thank you so much. And if this is your first time here, smash the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. I'll keep you up to date on stimulus, pretty much anything having to do with money. And also consider following me on Instagram at SteveRam3. It's a great way to get a hold of me, and also the new Patreon group as well. And always remember that here on YouTube, when I respond to your comments, I'm always going to have that gray stripe on my name, and if you don't see that, it's not me, it's those pesky scammers trying to pose as me, trying to steal your information. Look, I'll never ask for bank account information, and I'm never going to leave random WhatsApp numbers in the comments, okay? I'm here to give you the latest information, and with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and dive right in, and I'm going to get you caught up on the latest regarding executive orders and what we can expect to see very soon with stimulus. Alright, so first let's take a look at some video footage that just came out yesterday from White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki, and she's going to be discussing the executive orders that were signed into law by President Joe Biden yesterday, and also what we can expect to see from his speech and details regarding the American Families Plan. Let's go ahead and take a look.
Okay, a couple of items for you at the top. Today, President Biden is issuing an executive order requiring federal contractors to pay a $15 minimum wage to hundreds of thousands of their employees. These workers are critical to the functioning of federal government, from cleaning professionals and maintenance workers to nursing assistants who care for the nation's veterans to cafeteria and other food service workers who ensure we all have healthy and nutritious food to eat, to laborers who build and repair federal infrastructure. The executive order will increase the hourly minimum wage for federal contractors to $15 in new and renewed contracts and contract options starting in January 2022. This increase must be implemented by March 30th, 2022. Continue to index the minimum wage to an inflation measure so it keeps up the cost of living. With the cost of living, eliminate the tipped minimum wage for federal contractors by 2024. Ensure a $15 minimum wage for federal contractors with disabilities, and restore minimum wage protections to outfitters and guides operating on federal lands. Also, as you may remember, and I think this announcement just went out, but President Biden signed a Made in America executive order directing federal agencies to ensure taxpayer dollars supporting American manufacturing. We've been, of course, hard at work delivering on that commitment, and today the president announced the appointment of Celeste Drake as the nation's first Made in America director, which I think is a great title. As Made in America director within the Office of Management and Budget, she will make sure agencies follow the president's ambitious Buy American commitment and will help continue the work to carry out his bold Made in America agenda. Also today, two more items here. Thanks to the American Rescue Plan, the Department of Health and Human Services is announcing the availability of $1 billion for the construction and renovation of community health centers. The funding builds on President Biden's commitment to ensuring equity and access to COVID-19 response efforts and high-quality primary health care services. Community health centers are a critical pipeline, as we've talked about a bit in here before, for our COVID-19 vaccination efforts, and all over the nation's nearly 1,400 Health Resources and Services Administration funded health centers will be eligible for these funds. Finally, following the president's address to the joint session of Congress, we are launching the Getting America Back on Track tour to highlight the successes of the first 100 days in addressing the crises facing our country, vaccinating America to beat the pandemic, more than 200 million Americans to be exact, delivering much needed financial help to American families, making transformative investments to rescue and rebuild our economy, and fundamentally showing the government can deliver for people. We'll also use the tour to take the case directly to the American people about the vital need for action on the jobs plan and the families plan, which the president will be laying out in detail tomorrow evening, so we can make badly needed investments in the financial security of middle-class families, as well as in jobs, growth, and competitiveness. After the joint session, the president, vice president, first lady, second gentleman, and cabinet members will fan out across the country. On Thursday, as you know, the president and first lady will travel to Georgia, and the vice president will go to Baltimore. On Friday, the president will travel to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The vice president will go to Ohio, and the second gentleman will head to North Carolina. They will be traveling, of course, next week as well, and we will announce additional stops then.
So there you guys have it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, as we heard of several executive orders that got signed and more details about what we can expect to see later today. Now, we are seeing articles come out like this. Take a look. Biden signs the order requiring the $15 minimum wage for federal contractors. And as we just heard from White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki, President Biden signed an executive order Tuesday requiring that federal contractors pay a $15 per hour minimum wage. And it says the order affects hundreds of thousands of people working on federal contracts, the White House said, including cleaning, maintenance workers, as well as nursing assistants and food service workers. Now, under the order, starting January 30th of 2022, the agency will need to include $15 minimum wage in a new contract solicitations, and by March 30th of 2022, all agencies will need to implement it into new contracts. Agencies will also need to incorporate it into existing contracts when they're extended. Now, the current minimum wage for workers performing work on covered federal contracts is $10.95 an hour. The order also phases out the use of tipped minimum wage for federal contractors, currently $7.65 an hour by 2024. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. This was a major item in President Joe Biden's campaign. We saw several businesses approach him and say they were concerned about an increase to the minimum wage, and he's saying that right now the data is suggesting that if they increase the minimum wage, that it will not negatively impact the economy. However, some economists are saying that if they do this, in response, a lot of businesses will have to lay off workers as they won't be able to handle the minimum wage increase, and this could increase unemployment rates. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. We will see as this unfolds what takes place. Now, in addition to that, we also heard her mention that there was another executive order, and it was this one right here. Take a look, link in the description below. This just came out today. Biden names trade expert Celeste Drake as the Made in America director, and it says President Joe Biden has selected Celeste Drake, a longtime trade expert, to be the first director of his initiative to steer more federal dollars to the U.S. manufacturers and producers, an administration official said. Drake will be responsible for ensuring the federal procurement process rewards U.S.-based businesses, including small companies and minority entrepreneurs. Her office will be based out of the Office of Management and Budget. So we also saw this take place. And in addition to that, as you guys know, we're going to be hearing President Joe Biden give that speech today on the American Families Plan, and we are getting leaked details. Now, one of them that caught my eye in particular was this one right here. Link in the description below to this article that just came out today that says Biden targets $41 billion tax break for rich real estate investors. It says the U.S. president wants to cut back a tax break that allows investors to keep buying and selling properties without paying capital gains. And it says Joe Biden is taking an aim at real estate investors used to buying and selling properties without having to pay capital gains taxes. The U.S. president's new economic plan calls for abolishing the right to defer certain tax payments on property investment gains of over $500,000, part of a broader effort to raise taxes on the rich to pay for the expansion of services including free preschool and less wealthy Americans. So President Joe Biden is definitely taking a shot at taxes. Now, by him doing this to the 1031 exchange, as you guys know, the 1031 exchange is merely an account that real estate investors use. It allows them to sell a piece of property, then take all the money, drop it into a 1031 exchange account, and then they have 9 months to then take the money and invest it into a similar property in a different one, and that will allow them, if they roll all the money over, to avoid capital gains tax since they didn't access the funds. Now, by him doing this, and it's capped at $500,000 per year, this is going to encourage real estate investors to utilize the 1031 exchange in smaller valued properties. Usually we see a lot of multifamily investors use this for big apartment complexes. This is going to discourage them because a multifamily apartment complex, that's going to be well over $500,000. So this is probably going to encourage a lot of investors to move down to smaller valued properties such as single family residential. So I think in turn, this could cause the real estate market to become even more competitive and cause values to go up even higher. We'll see. But man, now 1031 exchanges, he's already considered doubling the capital gains rate tax, increasing federal tax rates as well. So there is a lot that President Joe Biden is going for in the form of taxes. Now, we're going to be hearing more details today, as I mentioned, and we're seeing articles pop up like this. Take a look. Biden to propose free preschool as speech beat details emerge. And it says, the new details are part of Biden's $1 trillion plus package, the ambitious next phase of his massive infrastructure investment program. This one, focused on so-called human infrastructure, will cover childcare, healthcare, education, and other aspects of the household architecture that undergird everyday life for countless Americans. And this is together with Biden's American Jobs Plan, a $2.3 trillion infrastructure investment to be funded by a corporate tax hike. They add up a whopping $4 trillion effort to fulfill his campaign vow to build back better. The American Families Plan would be paid for by hiking taxes on the wealthiest 1% of Americans, in keeping with the president's vow not to raise taxes on those making less than $400,000 a year. Now, ahead of Wednesday's speech, lawmakers have been pushing to make sure key priorities are included. And as you guys know, we've been hearing they're pushing for stimulus checks, for child tax credits. There has been a ton of proposals that have been hitting just in the last 48 hours. I've been letting you guys know, and I'll be sure to let you guys know here on the channel once we hear what he proposes is actually included. And once again, remember, whatever comes out in that bill today, it is not set in stone. We could see items removed, new items included before it gets signed into law. So I'll be sure to keep you guys up to date though as soon as we hear today. So you guys, that is the latest on executive orders and the stimulus package. And as more information rolls out today, I'll be sure to keep you up to date. And also, if you want the latest on unemployment, be sure to check out the video that I uploaded recently, as 33 states across the nation have suddenly seen unemployment benefits for hundreds of thousands of people suddenly stop due to system failures. Also, if you want to see other videos on what's being proposed right now, what we've been hearing, and all of these proposals to be included in this package, check out my other videos that I've been uploading. I've been keeping everybody up to date, and I will continue to do so as soon as we get some more information. And once again, you guys, if you made it this far and you haven't already and you like and appreciate these videos, don't forget to smash that like button. It helps me out. If this is your first time here, hit the subscribe button. Consider following me on Instagram at SteveRam3, also the Patreon group as well, and get your 2 free stocks and your free crypto in the links in the description below when you download Webull and the Coinbase. And always remember, you guys, here on YouTube, my comments always have a gray stripe. And if you don't see that, it's not me, it's those pesky scammers. Keep an eye out for them. And you guys, with that being said, I hope this reaches you well. Hope you have a great day. God bless. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. This is Steve.